Pygmy. You know what pygmy belly is? That swollen belly, but you're real skinny. It's another sign of worm infestation. And this lady told me, your kids have, she said, I want to talk to you. I was brand new Adventist, just a couple years. And she said, I want to talk to you. She goes, please don't get offended, but I believe your kids have worms. She was already into the health message. I said, why would you say that? I was curious. She said, because of the bellies. And then my daughter would scratch a lot. So she told me what to do, and I'll tell you what you can do for this, and then we'll continue. You guys ever heard of black walnut holes? Black walnut holes. This is what she told me to do, and it worked. Now, I don't agree with the tinctures, and I'll tell you why. They have alcohol. Tinctures have alcohol. And they say that the alcohol evaporates. It does not. Taste the tincture. You can taste the alcohol. I had stopped drinking for 10 years, and I bought a tincture a year ago. And it said the alcohol evaporates. I got a little intoxicated. I got a little buzz from a tincture. So the tinctures do not evaporate the alcohol. What's a tincture? A tincture is the liquid drops. Instead of buying the herbs in bulk, you buy them in the liquid drops. They are alcohol-based. Now, a lot of them say glycerin-based, but they still use some form of alcohol. But remember, when you use under a certain amount, you're not required to put it in there. So I recommend the herb grounded. So you do 3 caps 3 times a day.
What size cap? 1, 2, 3.
Times 10 days. Then you stop for 10 days. And then you repeat process again for 10 days. I'll move out of your way. My children passed so many worms after they did this. We also ate pineapple and raw pumpkin seeds. The bromelain and the pineapple mixed with the pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are known to expel worms just by themselves. But when you do the seed, my children wouldn't eat garlic when they were little. It was too strong for them. But they took these capsules and we did the pumpkin seeds. But this is what she told me to do.
Say it again. 3
3 capsules, 3 times a day for 10 days.
Oh, okay.
So that's 9 capsules a day for 10 days. And they come 9 capsules in a bottle. If you go on Vitacost, you can get a very good deal. Then you stop for 10 days. Then you do it again 10 days. So how many days is this total?
30.
30 days within a month. 10 you do it, 10 you stop, 10 you do it again. So 10 days total, 30 days. So fish is the number 2 culprit. Fish is the number 2 culprit for allergies.
It sounds like that's to remove the worms.
Also, yes, this is to remove the worms. Also, it's not uncommon for individuals who consume fish to become deficient in vitamin B12 because these worms feed on the B12 in your body. So if somebody has B12 deficiency, yet they eat healthfully, then they need to get checked for that. And what are the 2 main signs if you have worm infestation?
Pygmy belly.
Itching in the anal and the pygmy belly. Yes, pygmy belly is number 2. Okay, there is something called a cystiocosis parasite that goes to the brain.
Say it again.
Cystiocosis. I'm going to email this to you. You'll get this. Cystiocosis parasite, which is a worm, it goes to the brain. Genia solium. It's known as the pork tapeworm. It causes cysts in the brain. You know, a lot of people have seizures is because they eat pork. Because this worm causes cysts in your brain, which leads to seizures. So that's another type of worm. And this worm, it hooks on, and it stings. Literally, they're stinging inside, a stinging sensation within the body. Okay, and this worm can affect the lymphatic system, the eye, the unborn child of an infected mother. So pork is something we shouldn't even be bothering with. But pork is not the only flesh that has worms. Fish is very high in worms. Is that understandable?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Okay. Okay, so we talked about you might be allergic to mangoes, but mangoes may not be the cause. It may be, it's not showing that you're allergic to fish when in actuality you really are. So remember, we're going to get to the root of the problem. Okay. Now, step number 1. Take the allergenic item out. So in this case, you would check for dairy, you would check for fish. And how many percent did we say are allergic to the dairy? 60 to 70%. That's very good. Now, there's a top chef from the Food Network. There's a man I'm training under. His name is James Liu. If you can watch his videos, I highly recommend. This man is very educated and he knows his stuff. If you're wondering where I'm learning what I'm learning under him. And he's good friends with the top chef from the Food Network. This man is a very popular chef. He won't say his name, but he's one of the top chefs on the Food Network. This guy cooks a lot of fish. Fish is one of his specialties. He has severe allergies, so bad that when allergy season comes out, he can't go outside because it affects him so bad, severely. And then he has a son that snored like a chopper, like really. You ever heard children who snore like that? That's an allergy. That's a sign of an allergy. Brother Luke told him, you need to remove the fish. He said, oh man, you're crazy. I've been eating fish my whole life. He said, exactly, and that's why your allergies are so bad. The moment he and his wife became strict vegetarians, guess what happened to the allergies? The moment they took the dairy away from that little boy, guess what happened to his tractor noise? Gone. One day, it was so quiet, because the boy would snore so loud, he'd wake up the whole house. This little boy, when they stopped the dairy, the mom thought he had died because there was no noise. She ran to the room and he was sleeping sound.
How long did it take?
I hear a matter of just a couple weeks. For the little boy, I heard even less, within a couple of days. It does not take long. How long did we learn in most cases is the longest for healing to take place?
1 to 2 months.
1 to 2 months. Amen. You guys have some good memories in this class. Okay. So, now, what does eating dairy and fish do? It causes pain because these foods are known to cause inflammation in the body. Do we know a lot of people suffering from inflammation? Inflammation is an allergic reaction. Did you guys know that? Inflammation is an allergic reaction in the body. And if you have inflammation, do you have good circulation? No, you don't have good circulation. And if you don't have good circulation, do you have good health? No, because we are told it is impossible to have good health without good circulation. Okay, now shrimp, lobster, crab, conch, crawfish, shellfish, catfish, crayfish, tilapia. Most people think tilapia is a good fish. It's an unhealthy fish. And it's just very similar to a catfish. It also eats the filth on the ocean floor.
Oh, it's not scale?
No.
It's
It's scaled, but it doesn't have fins.
Yes, it does.
Well, this is classified as an unclean fish. And they say it's an unclean fish.
Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, listen to what they say about it. The executive chef I was telling you about, that's friends with Brother Lou, he said that tilapia is a breed between catfish and another type of fish. He said that tilapia eats everything that the catfish eats. Everything that the catfish eats. Yes. Okay? Now, what's another food? So we said number 1. Let's do number 1. Let's do this. Number 1 is milk. Number 2, what did I say? Fish. What did I say number 3 was? Okay, I was just talking about it. Sorry about that. Shellfish. This stuff is this right here causes a lot of allergies in a lot of people. I have a friend whose daughter can't eat either of these two right here. If she even walks in a house that cooked fish, she goes into what's called anaphylactic shock. Speaking of anaphylactic shock, does anyone know what the signs and symptoms of that are?
Anaphylactic.
Anaphylactic shock. It's very severe.
Can you define it?
It's the most severe allergic reaction to a food or substance. These are the signs and symptoms. SS, signs and symptoms. Okay? Itching. Can't breathe. Tightening around the throat, like your throat is closing. And hives. If somebody says that this is happening to them, you need to call 911 right away, but there's something you can do in the process. Now, when I'm dealing with somebody who's not Adventist and not of our faith, I will use the tinctures, because they will use the tinctures, and they're effective. And I'm going to let you put all these powders in them. But if you have a tincture, I will keep them on hand for other people, but I myself won't use them. Cayenne tincture. Let me spell the tincture here. T-I-N-C-T-U-R-E. How many heat units do we want?
90.
90 what? 90,000. And HU stands for heat units. Plus, there's another excellent tincture. You heard of lobelia? Lobelia, okay? If you squirt a dropper full of cayenne and you squirt a dropper full of lobelia, I've never done this, but I've heard it from many people. This can stop anaphylactic shock.
1 5 drop.
Dropper full. In the tincture, it comes with a dropper. 1 dropper full of each. Squirt it in the side of their mouth. This can stop it in its tracks. So as medical missionaries, we want to know what we can do in case these things happen, right? So if somebody goes into anaphylactic shock, and after hearing today, I would even give them some lemon juice. Remember today's health nuggets?
Okay, but what if you don't have a teacher? Can we just use the regular cayenne pepper?
I would recommend, as medical missionaries, we have to start us a bag, a kit. Doctors carry what everywhere? They have their little doctor bag, right?
They used to that.
We should all, well, the doctors I know, they still carry their bags in their car. They have their supply, yes,
Okay.
yes. Not all of them, I'm sure, but there's some doctors I know that still do. But we should start our own medical missionary kit, and over time, we'll be going through this. But these are 2 items I highly recommend.
Well, if you have that encyclopedia, those are 2 items. Those are the herbs